don't you just hate people who say no? Fortunately, I'm in a position now where I can be generous and I thrive on it. It fills my love tank, shall we say. The more I get, the more I'll give.
On this episode of Spill the Tea with LLIB, we are joined by the amazing Charlotte Donoghue. So Charlotte, can you share with our listeners a little bit more about your business and the unique aspects that set it apart?
Yes, okay. So firstly, thanks for having me. So I own a jewellery company called Say It With Diamonds. Say It With Diamonds, we started in 2016. So there's myself and my business partner. But I am the face, more or less, and I do all this kind of fun, which is fun stuff to me. We say Steph, she goes to the event and eats the cheese.
So she's that sounds like me and Claire. She's the face and I'm the eater of the cheese, as you can tell.
Introvert, and we laugh and she goes and she eats the cheese and I do the talking. So, but it works that way.
What a team.
We're chalk and cheese and we like it. But even though I do like cheese,
like a bit of cheese.
So we started in 2016. We started doing initial necklaces and we thought, you know what, we'll just do it for some pocket money coming up to Christmas. And before we knew it, we kept just leaving the money in, reinvesting it. We were doing made to order. Then we were like, oh, you know, if we get till Christmas, great. Then we got till after Christmas and then we got a little office and then we started just building it. We didn't say, people then started coming to us, can you get rings? Can you get this? And we were like, yes. We never said no to nothing. We read a book called The Yes Man and it was about how, if for any of the listeners that don't know, it's about how saying yes can change your life. Don't you just hate people who say no?
Yeah.
It should be banned.
Yeah.
So take them in a minute. No, do it right this second, right now.
That's definitely clear.
Yeah, it's a man thing.
Yeah.
I hope we've got no man listeners, but they're not like instant. They're not impulse like us, are they? So yes, so it kept building and building. Then before long, we got a shop. Then we didn't even have a website, and people were like, "Oh, do you want to get a website?" And we're like, "Hey, no." And now we're primarily e-commerce, and we've completely switched it. So yes, Say It With Diamonds. We tried to trademark it. We had no business background, no degrees, no nothing. We literally just winged a lot of it at the beginning. Our business coach would be telling me off for saying this, but it's the truth.
Oh, I think we're still winging it now, aren't we?
Everyone in business does that, don't they? You know, at the
Yes.
beginning, if you knew how hard it was going to be, let's face it, would you have ever set it up? You know,
Absolutely
some
not.
of those difficult days, you know. So I think we all do wing it to a certain extent, and especially in the early days, we were the same. No business plan, no nothing. Just
we would like, you
let's
should
give it a
have, when
go.
we look back, you should have seen some of our images, even the name. Like, I wish I could tell you it was something deep and meaningful. It was just literally rolled off the tongue. So as we got more established and we got more business savvy, shall we say, we realised that you couldn't even bloody trademark Say It With Diamonds because it's a widely used slogan, which brings me on to, we are just, how many years, 6-7 years later, about to do a rebrand with Say It With. So it's almost the same, but now we're a bit more professional.
I love that.
We know what we're doing to an extent.
Fingers
Have
crossed.
a website.
Well, we know what we're doing on a Monday and
Yeah.
a Tuesday gets to Wednesday and it starts going a bit ski with Thursday, Friday. Let's not have meetings on
Certain
Thursday,
times of the
Friday.
month, you know, God.
That's it.
No go.
But we've got all these specialists now and they've created this new, it's mostly the same brand colours, just little shades, because you know that's someone's actual job where they look at shades of pink. They look the same to me and you, but they're not the same, and the different codes. And so we've got all these savvy, clever, really clever people on board, and it's just incredible, the relaunch, which is going to be the 28th of March this month. So it's very, very close. Super exciting. We're about to rebrand. Well, we're waiting for the rebrands. We're about to launch in Australia, which is absolutely huge.
Massive.
I'm still like, oh, you know, it's just come. It's snowballing out of control. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to actually leave my kids for 7 days to go and do this. Usually,
Are you going to Australia?
and we're going to have to, So me and my business partner, we're usually in and out of we go to Bangkok or Hong Kong and we're in and out. Like we do more hours traveling and we do our meetings, we do our work.
Why don't we travel?
We throw ourselves in a blender. We've got a name for it now. So we go and we have a wild night out. Honestly, you wouldn't believe.
How do you throw yourself in a blender?
Well, we go and we drink Cosmopolitans. We think it's a great idea to stay sober for the 14-hour flight, and the last hour before we land, we go, shall we have a Cosmo at the bar? And we're both 8 stone, soaking wet, so it goes to our head. And we go, we're not eating none of this rubbish, and we think it's a good idea, and we do. That's what we call throwing ourselves in a blender. We've been mistaken for Russian prostitutes. Oh, wow. Honestly, true stories. Like you just wouldn't believe. We get scared. We go, we're going to end up banged up abroad because we get ourselves into these sticky situations. And we're like, you wouldn't believe it.
With the motto, throw ourselves into a blender.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. But I love it. I'd love to throw ourselves in a blender with you.
It was my birthday on Sunday, and I said, thank you. It's my little girls too, and it was Mother's Day. So it was really the sham wasn't on me. It was carnage. And she said, so I said to Steph, she said, what I've got you for your birthday. We're going to go in a blender. We're going to London. I was like, oh, great. But yeah, I've just said how tired I am today. I'm tired thinking about this blender in the UK.
So when's Australia?
So I think we're going to go in September.
Oh, wow.
So that'll just give it a few months to launch and everyone to know what we're doing. I don't even watch. I don't know who any influencers are. I don't get time between the kids and my 3rd child now, my dog. But I don't even know an Australian influencer. So I think
that's really hard though, because I think of influencers now and it's sort of, you've got to keep up with them.
You've got to move with the times.
There's a show and then everyone comes out and then everybody's like, that person. And I always think to myself about influencers who come out of reality TV shows, my heart goes out to them as well, because you are put on such a high, everything's on you, everyone's looking, you can't breathe out of place without someone writing about it or it being an image. And then another show comes out and it's somebody else.
It's the way things are. Really, Nicola Carragher is she's one of my best friends, and her husband Jay. So when he's my kid's godfather, so we're really close and we do have these conversations and we talk about it. And he says, like years ago, people didn't have phones the way they do now. And now, so his son's a footballer and he says, they can't do anything because you've got and sometimes, really, when you look at it and you take a step back and you look at the footballers and the training all year, they have 1 month a year off. Yeah. And then when they are off, they can't even go for the tea. And you just think
can't even go in a blender, can they?
That's exactly right. They can't even have a little blender session.
You really can't. Yeah.
So it's tough, isn't it? And again, it's all the social media.
Mental health and well-being has got to be like a priority to anybody who's coming into that spotlight. You've got to take care of your mental health and well-being.
Absolutely. I fully agree. And, I laugh because I'm always mindful when I go places and I see famous people and I would never dare approach them. And it just reminds me, once we were in Barbados and we had my mum was with us and she's really starstruck by all this. And this isn't Rod Stewart was there and she's walking past.
My dad would have been
she's walking past with the baby, so he's sitting on the next table in the restaurant and she's walking past with the baby humming his songs. I went, Mother, gotta go, sit down and shut up.
It's okay. We went to yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. We went to what was the restaurant? Gaucho in the city centre when it opened up and we were invited. So we took the husbands and we went there and it was gorgeous. And then you dropped red wine down your dress, didn't you?
And a canapé,
And a canapé. Then I don't drink, so we went downstairs to the toilet. She's trying to dry her dress. Jennifer Ellison walks in, doesn't she? We have this whole conversation about spilling stuff down your dress and trying to clean it and kids and stuff like that. And then we come back up and who did you see, Cal?
It was Dr. Ranj off the telly.
She's seen Dr. Ranj off the telly.
Is he off? He
was off her Get Well Soon programme on CBeebies. He was the doctor there on that.
Tell everybody what you did, Cal. Wait for it.
I wandered over to him. In me bright idea of drunkenness, well, not quite drunk, I think tipsy was more the word, with that confidence that I must let him know how I woke my children up every morning. And so his song, the Get Well Soon song, was be happy, be healthy, and get well soon. And when I used to go into my kids in the morning, I would sing, oh, Harry, it's morning, you wake up soon, sort of along those lines. And then it went on. And I thought at that moment in Gaucho, it would be amazing to go and relay this to him and sing to him. And he was literally stood there going, oh, you're so lovely. Like, and with hindsight, he was literally thinking, you're such a nutter. And these were all looking on.
She was something more than red wine in the toilet.
Yeah, to say like, oh, just come and sit down. And I came back like grinning like a Cheshire cat until the morning when you wake up and you realise you've sang your
because
kids
I got it on video.
Yeah. To Dr. Ranch. So I'd be your mum, except I would have been over on Rod Stewart's sunbed going, I think I know you from somewhere, Rod.
Yeah.
I love that.
So funny.
I love that.
Yeah. So what inspired you initially, before your business journey started? What inspired you to even go into this line of work?
So I've always done businesses and some really didn't work, but I've always been like business driven and work for myself, and I'm a control freak at the highest level, and because I like things done so fast, I'm just used to doing it myself. I like them done yesterday. Like when new staff start, the girls like go, oh, you know what Charlotte's like, she likes it done yesterday, and I do. I'm just like, I've got a new saying, I go, run, don't walk, run, don't walk.
Do you find it hard working with other people? Did you find that one of the things we found really hard, because we are so on the ball and our husbands were working away as well, so we had the time in the evenings to be able to get things done. Do you find it hard to give other people things and not have
now?
It done?
I'm top delegating out. I'm really good at delegating things out. I did struggle with it at first, but it becomes, you become like a busy fool. You're not being good at anything because you're trying to juggle too much.
Yeah.
So I am, as I say, really good at delegating. What drives me is, I started the business in 2016 with my daughter was born then. So I knew in life I would have always done well. I had a market stall of 14. My mates were going and they were working for people. And I said to her, I'm going to have my own. And, that was the way I was. But that's what I say to me, like, girl, now I've always worked, but I love it, I thrive on it. And I would have always done well. I wasn't great academic, but I wanted different for my daughter. So my driving force was, and still is, I wanted her to go to private school. Yeah. I didn't want her to have to do what I done, because fortunately I was good at it, but she is just another league. She's a different kettle of fish than me. I don't even know how I've had something so pure. So she would probably never be like I was, where I would go out and be hungry so much for it. And I didn't want it to have to be. I wanted it to go. And she's super, super, super bright, brighter than I'd ever be. The homework, she comes home where it's every night. It's too much. I'm just like, wow, the email miss. I'm like, miss, the homework to do it. She goes, oh, Mom, I've done the homework with her, or whatever it may be. I'm like, this is what I'm paying you for. And between the clubs and stuff. So, and I've got a little boy now as well. He's another ball game again. Yeah, I haven't got high hopes for him being super academic, but he might.
Sports.
Yeah, sports.
Get him in sports.
Maybe not sports, maybe. I want him to be a DJ actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I love Ibiza in the summer, and I just think, and when we in the summer just gone, we were on the flight home from Ibiza, and lo and behold, one of Ibiza's best DJs were on the flight next to me and my friends. So we were like, oh, your luck's in with us. So our partners were we were on row 1. And they're on that side and we're on this side. And we just had a ball with them on the flight. We ended up going to DJs called Salado. We ended up going on the flight from Ibiza to some Indian and Knutsford and carrying on the party with these DJs, as you do on the way back with our partners as well. But and they were just saying, oh, we're going here, we're going. So I was like, let's have a little look at your diary, where you going? And I was like, they were going to ballet the next week, and he says, I'm taking my girlfriends and my mum. And I think, do you know what? I don't know whether that's better than being a footballer.
Yeah.
They said they get private jets here, there, and everywhere. And I thought, well, at least they're traveling the world. They do a little gig, and and they're not short of money. So I think that's what I want for Johnny, and he's got a right little rhythm on him.
There you go.
Love it.
So he mightn't be the brightest button in the box, or is it the sharpest tool? No way to get it from. He's more like me.
I love that. We have so many women who sit where you're sitting right now who started a business after just becoming mums as well. And it's like that. We didn't really want to start a business, did we? But we felt like we were forced to. The school system for us both weren't working. We couldn't work around our children, and we were either not present in the job or we weren't present for the children.
Do you know what you're saying? That's what I get, because these women, these mums are on. I'm not 100% how it works, but they've got to work 15 hours to get the top up of the benefits. If someone goes to Tesco, oh yeah, I can do 50. Oh, it's 11:11. It's just been 11:11. Say they say, oh, we can do 15 hours. They'll go, oh yeah, can you on your bike?
Yeah.
How
are people working?
Supposed to do that?
Yeah, I say people, but how are mums working around their children?
Yeah.
I just don't know how I would do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do it.
So what do you find the most fulfilling about the work that you do?
I will. Fulfilling. I love the stories. So jewellery, it's always people buy it for the meaning.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really sad. People come in and they're like, a baby's being stillborn. Can we buy a bangle? And that's absolutely heartbreaking. But then you've got, the people that get married and getting engaged, etc. So that's nice. For me personally, I just like the doors that it opens and the people you meet. I'm here today. We just had the story before. Like, I honestly feel so blessed and humbled to be at these places. I've just done my school run. Or whether you go to the gym, then you finish at the school run at the end. I'm finished that for the school run at the end of the day. So I just love that it opens so many doors to meet so many lovely people, yet whilst still, having your personal life and being a mum as well for the kids and being there when they need you.
It's true
I'm
flexibility. All the taxi.
All the
true
time.
Flexibility, isn't it? That's just not offered in other working situations.
Exactly, exactly.
And they're missing out on so many skills. If people could just see, like those corporate people could just see that actually when you do become a mum, you do get a special set of skills, don't you? You learn to balance more, you can navigate, you can just conduct a whole family is a skill in itself.
Exactly, yeah.
If they could only see that and then say, you know what, you can work at home, or, that flexibility of doing that
it's modern day. It's absolutely essential, isn't it?
Really is.
Moving with the times.
Yeah,
really
100%. Is. So if you could be remembered for one thing, what do you think it would be?
To be kind and to be generous. I feel, unfortunately, I'm in a position now where I can be generous and I thrive on it. It fills my love tank, shall we say. So I hope the more I get, the more I'll give.
Yeah.
So if I can be remembered for being kind, caring and generous, I will be happy. I'd really like to change the world in politics too, but that's just a bloody minefield, isn't it?
What would you change first?
I think the disabled should get more help.
Yeah.
It's like my sister's Down syndrome and my mum looks after her 24 hours a day, and they say, oh, you can have 2 weeks respite a year. I think the people that that decide how much time that the disabled should get, I think they should have to live with a disabled person for a month, because they come in, they've got no idea, they haven't even got kids off of them, let alone ones that are mentally and physically disabled.
I totally agree.
So I would sort that out, and I wouldn't be putting VAT on the school fees, because obviously Labour's going to come in and they're going to do that. And then where does that leave the state schools?
Yeah.
Like, they're already overpacked as there is.
100%.
The amount of mums I see having mental breakdowns because they're not getting the first or the second or even the third schools. But
that doesn't matter anymore,
the
does
private
it?
schools are going to end up it's fortunately at the minute
Yeah.
it's not going to affect me personally. However, it's going to affect so many
100%.
families.
Yeah.
And then where does that leave the kids that are in the state schools? It's absolutely bonkers.
We always say to be like a member of parliament, to be the government, you should have experienced the need, to understand the need, to be able to then go out there and focus on that
make
need
decisions,
and meet the need.
yeah.
We should have our top NHS, nurses going into parliament and talking, and someone who's gone through the school system, being a head teacher, and left, and they should be our community of parliament, not people who
have got
go
no
through
idea
uni and then not,
they've been fed with a silver spoon, and they've got
it.
no morals or nothing. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's like any job. If you become a nurse, you've got to go and do work experience of being a nurse, haven't you? So it should be the same for these people that are sitting saying that parents don't need respite, or that 2 weeks a year is enough.
Yeah.
Would anybody work with 2 weeks off? And I wouldn't mind. Like, it's 24 hours care, 7 days a week.
Yeah, 100%.
For someone who's getting older as well, and you kind of see how much of a toll it takes on your own body and your own mental health when your children are very young and they're very needy, aren't they? And you kind of, as you get older, your children mine haven't yet, but they should become less dependent on you and more independent, shouldn't they? But for children and young people with those disabilities, that really impacts their ability to be independent forever, as your body ages and your mental ability and your physical abilities decline as a parent. You're still expected to pick up the same, level of care.
Well, my sister, because she can't walk, she's, God, I wouldn't even like to guess her weight, but she's, say size 18. My mum's 63, and her health's deteriorating as well, and she's expected to push this chair, and she gets no help. It's disgusting. Wow. And you know what they said after COVID? So she goes to the day centre, or she used to go, say, 3 days a week, and they said after COVID, we're not going to open them back up now. They cope fine in COVID. We're just going to do 1 day a week. So imagine, so what do they expect you to do? Yeah. And they're shutting all these centres down.
It's a funding issue, isn't it?
They should say to all businesses, you've got 20% have got to have disabilities.
And maybe that's where your VAT comes in. And if your VAT was being spent on good purpose like that, and you were like, do you know what, we're charitably given through our VAT to, and you can select who you charitably give to, maybe that would mean that people weren't as adverse to paying VAT on things.
Yeah.
But
they expect you to pay your tax, your corporation tax, then you're paying for your own schools anyway, and you're paying for your own healthcare, and they still taken.
Yeah.
They need to be kind and be remembered for being kind and generous and spreading it about a bit.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. World changes right here. Yeah. So if you could choose to spill the tea with anyone or have a cup of tea with anyone, who would it be?
Trump, I love him.
Really?
Trump. I like how straight talking he is. And you know what? I do think, like, I don't follow the American politics enough.
Yeah.
But I just think he gets things done and he doesn't take no messing. So I don't want to upset anyone because I don't know who he supports, the rich or the poor, and what even it matters there. Yeah. But I just, I'd love to just, out of interest, I'd just like to say so. Yeah. Or even Bracha, he done well. Everyone loved him, didn't he? And, his wife seems lovely. They seem happy. Yeah. But of course, I wouldn't mind a little cover with Kim K too.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah. Send her a little necklace or a little ring.
J-Lo, my friends met J-Lo.
She's incredible.
No,
really?
They said she's horrible.
Really?
So because I love her that much and she's so beautiful. I really want to know why she wouldn't get a picture took with me mate's little girl. I'd like to ask her that.
So J-Lo, if you are watching, why didn't you get...
Yeah. Why were you too busy to be kind?
That's a lot, isn't it? I think sometimes as well, celebrities get told what to do a lot, don't they? And you can't do this. And if you do this for one and you haven't got your own...
They were at a trailer though. They went to the trailer. She was videoing something in LA and they went to the trailer and there was no reason. She couldn't have just give the kids a photo.
Yeah. And you wonder, don't they, because it is the community of people who put famous people or bring them up there.
Yeah.
Like, it's because of your audience you are where you are right now. If you are an influencer,
so they should be a little bit more thankful.
Yeah, No, 100%.
But I wasn't there, so I can't fully judge the situation.
I feel like you can't just have one cup of tea. I feel like you'd have a tea party of all these people, like
I am queen of parties.
I can just imagine Kimmy there with Donald Trump on the side and J-Lo at the end.
At the end.
Yeah,
I love that.
Barack Obama.
So at this tea party then, if we didn't have no teapots and you had to make cups of teas for all of these people, including myself and Cal, we'd be at the tea party, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
How would you make the perfect cup of tea for your guests?
I would call Uber Eats.
Would you?
But you don't know how they've made it then?
No, you don't.
Really
I'd put the milk in last.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it too milky.
Yeah.
So I'm usually in a rush, so probably wouldn't be stirring it like you did. But little dip, and it's got to be Yorkshire tea bags. Got to be.
Yorkshire.
So you're a half team, Claire, because she's a Yorkshire tea, but she leaves
Don't
the
tell me
tea
you're
bag in.
Tetley.
No, I like a PG tip. Yeah, I love it.
Unless PG tips
they are, aren't they?
They've got rid of them. I think I don't know why they've got rid of them.
Do you?
I know.
Just too much.
Yeah.
But if
Earl
any of
Grey
these
is
tea,
volatile.
if any of these tea companies would like to
Takes
sponsor this
florals, doesn't it?
podcast, then please do get it.
Yeah, we'll give it a bash.
These new ones, tea pigs too, isn't he?
Tea pigs, yeah.
Yeah, that is up and
I do
coming.
love it oat latte though.
Yeah.
That's my guilty pleasure. It's
me
like
too.
a hug and a cup.
Yeah, and
I feel like we've got out of the
caramel
fact.
syrup.
I feel like you've like sort of stayed around if Charlotte takes a tea bag out before puts the milk in.
No, she said, didn't you?
Do you take your tea bag out and then put your milk in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like in them, like in cafes, they do have a tendency to put the milk in while the tea bag's in.
Yeah.
And then like it's watery. Does that make sense? It makes it watery, doesn't it?
And it just looks cheap.
Yeah, it looks grey. And you know them white cups. I do like a takeout cup though, do you?
Takeout cup, unless they haven't put a sleeve on it and you burn your hands.
Yeah.
Need to put a sleeve on it.
Or you know what? Another pet hate is them glass IKEA cups. I hate a cup of tea in a glass cup.
Where you can see it.
Yeah.
My mum loves them. I've got them in my cupboard.
I think
for
for
my
coffee,
mum.
yes.
Yeah.
But not for tea.
Yeah, especially if you're leaving the tea bag
It
in.
makes the tea watery as well. I know what I mean.
I feel like we've got a tea expert.
I'm a tea expert.
We've opened up a kind of
amount
words.
that we drink.
But see, these cups, I think you need new cups. They're too big. They go cold dead quick.
Well, do you know my perfect cup? But I wouldn't judge Claire on the cups because they are gorgeous. They're pretty
They're lovely,
and lovely.
but they go
But I
cold
like
dead quick.
a tall cup for me cup of tea. I do like a taller cup that's like thinner at the top.
People need to send us
feel like
cups in.
really judge.
Send
you
us
try
some
the cup.
cups in and we'll have a tea judging
There you
cup
go.
of rating
we
the cup.
did do a little thing. We hit a certain amount of subscribers on TikTok and we went live and we did a battle of the biscuits with tea.
Yeah.
So we learned like what biscuits
I should have brought you some
lasted.
birthday cake. Oh my God, you should have
birthday
tasted my
cake and tea.
birthday
Bit of
cake.
birthday cake.
Gorgeous.
I'm a proper cake head.
Oh, yeah.
Love cakes. I'd rather like not eat.
I need cake.
I need cake.
That's not
Mine's
bad
crisps.
thing.
Yeah, crisp
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have a crisp and cake tea party with lots of tea. But on
And
that
Kimmy
note,
K and J-Lo. And,
Of course.
Just
On
get
that
in your
note-
little black book.
That's
Give them a
it,
call.
why not?
on that note, I feel like we could be here all day talking about tea and cake and everything amazing that you're doing. We do love Say It With Diamonds. You've created such an amazing
incredible
brand, and
Oh,
it's the
thank you
people
so
within your
Well,
team
say it
as
with
well.
Say it with.
Say
Yeah.
it with.
love, say it with me and say it with me.
Say it with the
Yes.
colour pink.
Yes.
Love that.
yeah.
Absolutely love it. And your rebrand, good luck with that as
Thank
well.
you
'cause
so
that's going to be
much.
incredible.
And if
thank
you need anyone to carry your cases to Australia, then me and Claire are always available.
Cal will make the tea, I'll carry the case.
Yeah.
But do you know what I need? I need someone to drive Pommy over because I believe it's a nightmare getting them on flights. And then
Oh,
look at him.
my husband's driven all over the world.
Has he?
Yeah.
Could you even drive to Australia?
I'll get him to plan it.
Yeah.
I'll see what he can do.
He'll get there with Pommy and I'll be on my way back.
15 years later, got a beard down by his knees.
Well, on that note, Charlotte, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yay.